very pleasant Saturday afternoon to all of you. Thank you for tuning in for today's broadcast of Brevard College Baseball. Brevard hosting Piedmont in Game 2 of the home opening series for the Tornadoes right here at Gil Cohen Field in Brevard, North Carolina on an absolutely gorgeous Saturday afternoon weather-wise here in the western North Carolina mountains. Yesterday, Game 1 of the series, Piedmont with an 11-2 win. Tornadoes looking to bounce back today with Ben Melton on the mound. Tornadoes starting lineup is as follows. Batting first, shortstop number 2, Jason Jucker. Batting second, the center fielder number 4, Bo Sheely. Batting third, the right fielder number 21, Johnny Flynn. Batting fourth, the third baseman number 18, Brandon Johnson. Batting fifth, the DH number 3, Daquan Davenport. Batting sixth, the first baseman number 23, J.J. Wilkes. Batting seventh, the catcher number 14, Brett Burkett. Batting eighth, the second baseman number 0, Zach Wolf. And batting ninth, the left fielder number 1, Donnie Carcillo. On the mound for the Tornadoes, number 27, Ben Milton. Piedmont batting order is as follows. The right fielder number 1, Wes Snyder, leads off. Batting second, the shortstop number 2, Harry Trawick. Batting third, the left fielder number 4, Tyler Sheely. Batting fourth, the third baseman number 8, John Burkett. Batting fifth, the catcher number 3, Kyle DeJesus. Batting sixth, the third baseman number 29, James Whitmer. Batting seventh, the center fielder number 26, Carter Ballstadt. Batting eighth, the second baseman number 13, Duke Wadetsky. And batting ninth, the DH number 10, Evan Mead. The pitcher for the Lions is Jacob Valeroy. Tornadoes, of course, coached by head coach Mike Victory, assisted by Rob Julian and Steve Huckey. The Lions are coached by Justin Scally, assisted by Luke Harris, Hayden Craig, and Barrett Courtwright. Stick around. First pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. Eastern Time here at Gil Cohen Field. Also want to mention it is the Gil Cohen Memorial Series as we all weekend long pay tribute to one of the greatest Tornadoes to ever come through Brevard College, the late Gil Cohen, who passed away earlier this month at age 97. A sensational playing career and then coaching career here at Brevard College, and also played for 4 different Major League Baseball organizations. A lot of success throughout his career. And today, this afternoon, actually in Brevard, North Carolina, is the memorial service for Gil Cohen. So we tip our hat to Gil Cohen Sr., one of the greatest all-time Tornadoes. So stick around. 1 p.m. first pitch here at Gil Cohen Field, just minutes away from Game 2 of the Gil Cohen Memorial Series. Brevard hosting Piedmont. Coming up shortly. All right, Piedmont versus Brevard coming up in just a matter of moments here. Ben Melton taking the mound for the Tornadoes. The junior out of Valdez, North Carolina. Right-handed pitcher for the Tornadoes, a veteran of this staff. Tornadoes, as they line up defensively, around the infield, Brandon Johnson at third, Jason Jucker at short, Zach Wolf at second base, J.J. Wilkes at first. The catcher is Brett Burkett. Outfield from left to right, Donnie Carcillo, Bo Sheely, and Johnny Flynn. And the pitcher is Ben Melton. We'll get this going in just a couple minutes here. Leading off for Piedmont will be Wes Snyder. So due up for the Lions, Wes Snyder, Harry Trawick, and Tyler Sheely. First pitch, Melton to Snyder, up high, a ball. Second pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. Very similar lineup to what Piedmont brought to the table. In fact, batting order the same as yesterday, game one. Called strike there, so 1-2 now the count. Melton versus Snyder on a sunny Saturday afternoon at Gil Cohen Field. And the pitch put into play there, and it's going to be a base hit to left field. First hit of the game for the Lions. So after the base hit by Snyder, that brings up Trawick with Snyder on first, no outs. First pitch just off the plate from Melton, ball one. Tyler Sheely on deck for the Lions. That's put into play. 4-6-3 on the double play, so 2 outs right there, double play by the Tornadoes. Nicely done defensively. So after the Tornadoes turn the double play, Melton will go to work against the 3-hole hitter, Sheely. Sheely on the 1-0, blast that to center field, a fly ball handled by the Tornadoes, and down go the Lions in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first. No score here at Gil Cohen Field. So Jason Jucker will lead things off for the Tornadoes. Shortstop. For the Nados, going up against the right-hander Jacob Valeroy. Starting pitcher for the Lions. First pitch to Jucker. Inside corner, called strike one. On deck for the Tornadoes, it's number 4, Bo Sheely. Grounder to the pitcher, 1 down. So that'll bring up Bo Sheely, hitting in the 2-hole for the Tornadoes, the center fielder. Junior out of nearby East Flat Rock, North Carolina. And Sheely lays down a bunt and retired on 1 pitch, 2 down. So after the 2-3 put out on the bunt, 2 outs for Johnny Flynn. First pitch, a called strike. One now the count, 2 outs. Bases empty, and the pitch. And that's driven to the left field, a base hit for the Tornadoes. So after the base hit by Johnny Flynn, that brings up Brandon Johnson with Daquan Davenport on deck. And with Flynn at first, here's the pitch to Johnson. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Big cut there by Johnson. The reigning USA South Rookie Player of the Week, Brandon Johnson. With 2 outs, here's the 0-1. Called strike, strike 2. And here's the 0-2. Ball low and outside. Runner at first, 2 outs, 1-2 count here in the bottom of the first. Brandon Johnson at the plate. Johnny Flynn, your base runner at first. And here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, end of inning. We'll head to the top of the second. Scoreless here at Gil Cohen Field. So we head to the top of the second. John Burkett will lead off for Piedmont. First pitch, swinging miss, strike one. On deck for the Lions, number 3, Kyle DeJesus, the catcher. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Good looking pitch there from Ben Melton. 0-2 now the count. Each team with one hit in that first inning, but neither able to get much going other than that. Tornadoes able to turn a double play defensively. Here comes the 0-2, just off the mark, ball one. 1-2 your count. First at bat of the top of the second. And the pitch to Burkett. Outside. 2-2 now your count. And the count runs full, 3-2. Warm temperatures, relatively speaking, compared to what we experienced back on Thursday when it snowed here at Brevard College. And there's a walk for Burkett. So after the Burkett base on balls, here's DeJesus. He's already showing bunt. First pitch off the plate, ball one. James Whitmer on deck. Burkett gets his signal from the third base coach. And now back into the batter's box. This time swinging away, but another ball. That pitch low and outside. 2-0 the count. Burkett, your base runner at first. And the 2-0. That time showing bunt, and the pitch gets away from the Tornadoes catcher. 3-0 now the count. So now a runner in scoring position after the pass ball. So Burkett, now the base runner at second, and a 3-0 pitch. Takes a strike there. And the 3-1. Fouled off, full count. That ball fouled off towards the McCoy Tennis Complex. Good to see men's and women's tennis with a Saturday afternoon workout. They'll be back here in action 1 week from today. Want to head on over to Brevard College. And that's fouled straight back, so the count will remain 3-2. And back-to-back walks as DeJesus takes first on the base on balls. So that'll bring up James Whitmer now with 2 base runners and still no outs. And both base runners move forward on the pass ball. So now runners second and third for Whitmer after 2 pass balls this inning. That was fouled off, so 1-1 will be the count. Top of the second, Piedmont threatening with 2 base runners at second and third. No outs for Ben Melton and the Tornadoes. And here's the 1-1. Outside, ball 2. Whitmer, the 6-hole hitter. On deck is Carter Ballstat. And the pitch. Low and inside, ball 3. So no outs. 3-1 count to Whitmer with runners second and third. Melton steps out the mound, gets another sign from his catcher. And the pitch. Ball 4. So bases loaded. So bases will be loaded for Carter Ballstat, the center fielder. After a meeting at the mound, pitching coach Rob Julian speaking with Ben Melton. So bases are juiced for Piedmont with no outs here. Very little room for error for the Tornadoes. First pitch outside, low, ball 1. Carter Ballstat at the plate for the Lions. Ballstat, the sophomore from Gainesville, Georgia. He fouls that off, chops that foul down the third base line. So 1-1 count. And the pitch. Called strike. Good looking pitch there from Ben Melton. And a beautiful pitch there, struck out looking. Just what the doctor ordered for Ben Melton. So Melton with this strikeout looking against Ballstat, and now up 0-2 against Wadetsky, and all this happening with the bases loaded. So some clutch pitching at the moment from Ben Melton. One out. Bases are loaded. Wadetsky, the batter, Melton, the pitcher. 31st pitch of the outing for Melton is just off the plate, ball 1. So 1-2 now the count with 1 out. Tornadoes turned to double play in the first inning. That sure would come in handy right now. And a swing and a miss, that works as well. Another strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts for Ben Melton. So after back-to-back strikeouts by Ben Melton with the bases loaded, here comes Evan Mead with 2 outs. First pitch off the plate, ball. See if Melton can do it one more time here in this inning. Trying to strand those 3 Lion base runners. 1-1 now the count. Mead batting in the 9th hole, just like he did yesterday, the designated hitter. Called strike there, just a nasty pitch. Would have fooled anyone. And Melton now with the 1-2 advantage. As that's driven up the middle, it gets through the Tornado infield, and that will score 2 runs. Another run scores for the Lions on the wild pitch. Now the 1-2. Foul ball. Count will remain 1-2. Actually, that was called in play, so end of the inning, Tornado's able to get out of that last at bat, but 3-0, the damage was done by the Lions as we head to the bottom of the second. So Daquan Davenport leads off this bottom of the second for the Tornadoes. 1-2 count. Outside, 2-2 now the count. On deck for the Tornadoes is J.J. Wilkes. That pitch just missed, so 3-2 your count here in the bottom of the second. Piedmont ahead 3-0. Ben Melton oh so close to getting out of a bases-loaded jam with back-to-back strikeouts, but then Piedmont able to deliver. Strike three, swinging, one down for the Tornadoes. So that'll bring up J.J. Wilkes, starting first baseman for the Tornadoes. With one out, nobody on. First pitch, called strike. And here's the 0-1 from Valeroy to Wilkes. Just off the plate, ball one. On deck for the Tornadoes, Brett Burchett. Starting catcher. Swing there on the check swing, called a swinging strike, so 1-2 the count. Wilkes thought he had held off, but umpire ruled that he went around there. So a 1-2 count with one out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Well, a exciting afternoon of action here at Brevard College. Men's basketball senior day happening today as well. 2 p.m. tip-off at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Seniors Levi Lamb, Damari Hopper, and Gaddafi Turner all being honored in a pregame ceremony. Their final game in a Tornadoes uniform. So if you're in the area, head on down. You can catch some men's basketball, some baseball. And some gorgeous, feels like spring weather here in the land of the Tornadoes. And the 2-2. Off the plate, so the count runs full, 3-2. Nice at bat here for Wilkes with one out to stay alive and the 3-2. Off the plate, ball four. Wilkes takes first base on the walk. So after the Wilkes walk, Brett Burchett heads to the plate to face off against Valeroy. So base runner for the Tornadoes here with one down. First pitch off the plate, ball one. On deck now is second baseman Zach Wolf getting the start today. Wilkes with a healthy lead off of first base. He does have speed over there, so be interesting to see if he gets the green light and perhaps tries to steal second and get into scoring position. And the 2-0 from Valeroy to Burchett. Burchett puts it out of play and a foul ball. So making a run all the way over there was the center fielder, Burkett. But a foul ball. Check that. It was actually the second baseman who made the effort, Sheely. The ball lands foul. The at-bat continues. Now a called strike, so 2-2 the count. 1 out. J.J. Wilkes, your base runner at first. Brett Burchett, the batter. Valeroy, the pitcher. Zach Wolf on deck. And the 2-2. Runner going. And Wilkes is safe. The pitch was a ball, so ball 3. And then Wilkes takes second on the stolen base. Nice job of base running there by J.J. Wilkes. And suddenly a tornado in scoring position for Brett Burchett. And here's the 3-2. Burchett chops that towards third base. So after the infield single by Burchett, that was a very tough play for that third baseman to make, so ruled a single. And Zach Wolf now the batter. Runners first and second. Burchett, the base runner, at first. Wilkes, the base runner, at second. And here's the 0-2 to Wolf. Wolf, grounder to second. He gets the runner at second for out number 2. Fielder's choice. So after the fielder's choice by Zach Wolf, brings up Donnie Carcillo. Wilkes moved to third on that play. Oh, 0-1 the count to Carcillo. Carcillo, the starting left fielder this afternoon, game 2 of the series. Wolf, your base runner at first. Wilkes at third. 2 down. 3-0 Piedmont on top. We're in the bottom of the second. And the 0-1. High, ball 1. On deck is the leadoff hitter, Jason Jucker, if this inning continues. And the 1-1. Called strike. Good looking pitch there from Valeroy. 1-2 the count with 2 down. And a swing and a miss. 2 left on base for the Tornadoes. That'll end the bottom of the second with your score: Piedmont 3, Brevard 0. So Trawick will lead off for the Lions. First pitch off the plate, ball one. And the 1-0. Fouled off. 1-1 the count. Trawick, Sheely, and Burkett due up for the Lions, who scored 3 runs in the top of the second to take a 3-0 lead here in game 2 of this series. The pitch from Ben Melton. Called strike. 1-2 the count. So Melton getting ahead of Trawick. And the pitch. High and outside, ball 2. Melton works quickly out there. As that's popped up, and a play there by the Tornado center fielder, out number 1. That'll bring up the left fielder, Tyler Sheely, after a soft fly ball that was handled by Bo Sheely of the Tornadoes. Pitched low, ball 1. 1-1 count, 1 out. 3-0 Piedmont lead, each team with 2 hits. That pitch is off the plate, ball 2. Chopped foul, 2-2 count now. Three-two, the count runs full for Tyler Sheely. And the pitch. Inside, ball 4, so another base on balls for Piedmont. Sheely takes first base. So after the walk to Sheely, base runner for the Lions, and Burkett, the cleanup hitter, the first baseman for Piedmont. First pitch freezes Burkett for strike 1. One now the count. That pitch just missing. Tornadoes in their white jerseys with the blue trim and the blue numerals. That's fouled out of play over the first base dugout. 1-2 the count. Piedmont in the gray jerseys with the green numerals and green accents. And the 1-2. Fouled off. Count will remain 1-2. Here with a runner at first and 1 out.
Wilkes holding the runner Sheely. Rest of the Tornado defense at medium depth. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. After Sheely reached first base via the walk, this is chopped into right field. It's going to be a base hit for Piedmont. Runners first and second. So not a very hard hit ball by Burkett, but effective nonetheless. A single to right field as that's fouled off by DeJesus. Now runners first and second, 1 out. That ball took a big hop, like kind of a chopper, over the head of second baseman Zach Wolf and into right field. So runners first and second, and here's DeJesus at the plate. Called strike there by Melton. Melton, meanwhile, his next pitch will be number 60 of this outing. Certainly something worth keeping an eye on. That pitch over the head of Burchett. Runners advance on the wild pitch. So after the wild pitch, 2 runners in scoring position for Piedmont. Second and third for DeJesus. Fouled off. Count will remain 1-2. And that'll be a strikeout 2-3, so 2 down now. For number 29, Whitmer. So another Melton strikeout with runners in scoring position. So that one goes K2-3. Then a swing and a miss by Whitmer. But still some danger in this inning with runners at second and third for the Lions. And the pitch paints the outside corner. Just a gorgeous piece of pitching there by Ben Melton. Strike 2. So now Melton ahead of Whitmer with the 0-2 count. 2 outs. Runner second and third. The pitch. That's driven into left field. That's going to score 2 runs on the 2 RBI single. So now a 5-0 lead for Piedmont after the 2 RBI single by Whitmer. And that brings up Ballstat. First pitch, a strike. So caught stealing there to end the inning, but Piedmont able to add 2 more runs, 5-0 Lions. So Jason Jucker will lead things off here. Bottom of the third. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. 5-0 Piedmont on top. That pitch low, ball 2. Piedmont with 3 runs in the second, 2 in the third. .30 count now to Jucker. And a 4-pitch walk. That'll bring up Sheely. So I'll bring up Bo Sheely after the walk for Jucker. So base runner for the Tornadoes, and 2-0 count, and meeting at the mound for the Lions. Have a talk with Valeroy, the starting pitcher. After the meeting at the mound, the at-bat for Sheely continues. 2-0 count, and the pitch from Valeroy. Inside, ball 3. So Valeroy suddenly having a little bit of trouble with his control. See if the Tornadoes can capitalize. Jason Jucker, leadoff walk, is the base runner at first. Bo Sheely now with a walk. So now 2 straight walks and 2 base runners for the Tornadoes. So back-to-back walks equals 2 Brevard College base runners. Runners at first and second for Johnny Flynn, the 3-hole hitter, starting right fielder today. Brandon Johnson's on deck. Big opportunity here for the Tornadoes to cut into this 5-0 lead for Piedmont. First pitch called strike. Flynn asks for time, regroups, steps back into the batter's box. And the 0-1. Off the plate, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Piedmont 5 runs on 4 hits. Brevard still yet to score a run, has 2 hits so far this afternoon. Neither team has committed an error. That pitch inside, ball 2. And the 2-1. Called strike. Count goes to 2-2. Johnny Flynn, the senior out of Hillsborough, North Carolina. And the pitch. Flynn lifts that into left field. Runners stay put. Out number 1. So after the fly out to left, now 2 base runners and 1 out for Brandon Johnson. On deck for the Tornadoes, Daquan Davenport had the big offensive highlight yesterday for the Tornadoes, did Davenport. Home run to left field. Called strike there to Johnson. Brandon Johnson, after a performance at Guilford this past weekend, wins the USA South Rookie Player of the Week. Here's the 0-1. Johnson, well struck to right field. That's going to land fair. And that's a double for Brandon Johnson. So a run-scoring double for Brandon Johnson. Scoring Jason Jucker. That brings up Daquan Davenport. 1-2 count to Davenport. So Tornadoes able to get on the board here in the bottom of the third. Piedmont 5, Brevard 1. And here's the 2-2. Lined into center field, and that's going to score a run on the sacrifice fly. So another run scores for the Tornadoes on the pass ball. And now 5-3 the score. So the Tornadoes have cut into the Lions' lead. As Johnson scores on the pass ball. So now the bases are empty with Wilkes, the batter. 3-1 count, 2 outs. So a fruitful inning for the Tornadoes. RBI double by Brandon Johnson, scoring Jason Jucker. Sacrifice fly by Davenport, scores Sheely. Then a walk here, so inning will continue with Wilkes on first. So a new pitcher, number 19, Kelton Kieschnick, for the Lions. So that'll bring up Brett Burchett with J.J. Wilkes at first, 2 outs, and the pitching change for the Lions. Number 19, Kieschnick. In relief of Valeroy. Pickoff throw to first. Nothing doing there. As Wilkes is able to get back safely. Big inning so far for the Tornadoes, scoring 3 runs here in the bottom of the third. RBI double by Brandon Johnson. Scores Jason Jucker. Sacrifice fly by Brandon Davenport, scoring Sheely. And then Johnson scores on a pass ball. And what was a 5-0 lead, the deficit now just 2 runs. And Tornadoes trying to even add on more here in this frame. Brett Burchett at the plate for the Nados. Another pickoff throw, Wilkes able to evade. Pitch to Burchett, low and inside, ball 2. That's put into play, base hit, so runners first and second. That'll bring up Zach Wolf for the Tornadoes, runners first and second. Wolf flies out to right to end the inning, but Tornadoes able to tack on 3 runs, 5-3 your score.
So after 2 quick outs by Ben Melton in the Tornadoes defense, an 0-1 count now to Evan Mead, make it 1-1 the count. Tornadoes with a big bottom of the third suddenly make this contest a lot more interesting at 5-3. Score was 5-0 until that big third inning for the Tornadoes. Swing and a miss there by Mead, 1-2 the count. And the pitch from Melton, high and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild, and that is lifted foul, so the at-bat will continue for Mead. And the 2-2 to Mead, fouled off. Once again, Ben Melton, by the way, we were keeping an eye on his pitch count. He now has thrown 73 pitches in this starting appearance. Strike 3, Melton gets him looking. Beautiful pitch there, retires the side. So you get a feeling the momentum has changed quite a bit in this contest, as these last 2 half innings have been impressive from the Tornadoes side of things. 3 runs scored in the bottom of the third, and then a 1-2-3 inning by Ben Melton and the Tornado defense. 1-1 the count. A ball and then a looking strike. And then that's put into play. Base hit. So after the base hit by Donnie Carcillo, here's Jason Jucker. As the Tornadoes' momentum seems to be continuing here. Bo Sheely on deck. A pitch off the plate. Kieschnick in relief of Valeroy.
The pitcher for Piedmont, Ben Melton, still going strong in his starting appearance for the Tornadoes. 2-1 the count. Three-one now the count. No outs, runner at first. Inside, ball 4. That'll bring up Sheely. So after a missed bunt attempt, strike 1 for Bo Sheely. Runners first and second, nobody out. Tornadoes trying to cut into this Piedmont lead even further, currently trailing 5-3. As that bunt sails foul, so 0-2 now the count, and I have to call that bunt off. Now with 2 strikes. Kieschnick versus Sheely. And the 0-2. Fielder's choice will go 1-6-3. So after the fielder's choice, that brings up Johnny Flynn, now runners first and third. First pitch called strike. Chopper to third. Piedmont able to turn the double play, so no run scores there. End of inning. So on his 80th pitch, Ben Melton continuing his outing for the Tornadoes. Now a 2-0 count for Snyder, the leadoff hitter for Piedmont, also leading off this inning. Piedmont with a 5-3 lead. Piedmont 5 runs on 4 hits. Tornadoes 3 runs on 5 hits. Neither team has committed an error. Beautiful pitch there, painting the outside corner. 3-1 now the count. Melton versus Snyder. Here's the 3-1. Just off the plate, ball 4. So that'll bring up the shortstop number 2, Harrison Trawick, showing bunt. Meantime, a stolen base there by Snyder. The count to Trawick. Ben Melton now with 86 pitches thrown by our count here in the press box. Called strike there, 2-1 the count. No outs. Snyder, the speedy Snyder, leadoff hitter for Piedmont, base runner at second. Melton keeping an eye on him. Now comes to the plate. That pitch high and inside. Ball 3. Action in the Tornadoes bullpen as Melton's pitch count continues to accelerate. That pitch over the plate, strike 2. So now a full count to Trawick. Tyler Sheely on deck for the Lions. And the pitch fouled back. At bat continues this battle between Ben Melton and Harrison Trawick. Men's basketball underway at the Boshemer Gymnasium. See if we can get you an update. Tornadoes 14, Huntington 9. So early lead for the NATOs on Senior Day at nearby Boshemer Gymnasium. Meanwhile, here at Gilcone Field, Tornadoes trail 5-3 against the defending USA South Conference regular season champion Piedmont Lions. And the pitch fouled back towards our broadcast location. And this at-bat trudges on between Melton and Trawick. Called strike, got him looking. Good looking pitch there from Ben Melton, and retires Trawick. So that'll bring up the left fielder number 4, Tyler Sheely, with 1 down after that strikeout by Melton. Now a pickoff throw to second. The throw goes into the outfield, and so that'll be charged
in error as the runner Snyder is now on third base. So an RBI triple there by Sheely, scoring Snyder, making the score 6-3. That'll do it for Ben Melton. So a pitching change here for the Tornadoes, trailing 6-3. New pitcher for the Tornadoes is Nathan Sanders, relieving Ben Melton, with the Tornadoes trailing 6-3. Due up for the Lions will be John Burkett. So Nathan Sanders, the new pitcher for the Tornadoes. Piedmont has scored one more run here in this inning to go ahead 6-3. Nathan Sanders dealing with Sheely over at third base after his RBI triple scored Snyder. Nice job with blocking that pitch that was in the dirt by Burchett, perhaps saving another run. And the pitch, fouled back. Each team with 5 hits. Brevard also with an error. And the 2-2 from Sanders. Nice job there to get the out by Jucker. So that'll bring up Kyle DeJesus. Really nicely done there by Jucker on that last play defensively, holding the lead base runner, Sheely, at third base before making the play at first to retire Burkett. That brings up DeJesus against Sanders. Pitch from Sanders, low, ball 2. 2 outs here, 6-3 lead for Piedmont. Chamber of Commerce weather here in Brevard, North Carolina for this time of year. As that pitch is wild, and that'll score a run on the wild pitch. So now 7-3. Brevard trailing Piedmont. 2 runs this inning for the visiting Lions. Nathan Sanders trying to get out of this inning, but there's a base on balls for DeJesus. Inning will continue for Piedmont. So that'll bring up James Whitmer with DeJesus at first. 2 down. Sanders comes to the plate, strike 1. And a caught stealing there will get the Tornadoes out of the inning. Nice job there by Burchett to gun down DeJesus. So Brandon Johnson, who had an RBI double, steps into the batter's box ready to roll here. First pitch, swing and a miss. Second pitch sliced into right field, out number 1. So Davenport, now your batter. 1 down, 1-1 count here. Kieschnick going back to work against Davenport. Davenport lifts this to shallow left field. Tough play, lands foul, strike 2. 3 Lions fielders were all in the vicinity. Tough play for Lions shortstop, third baseman, or left fielder. Ball bounces foul. Count now 1-2. And the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. Full count now for Davenport. Davenport with a sacrifice fly back in the bottom of the 3rd. When the Tornadoes scored 3 runs as he grounds that to the second baseman, 2 down. That'll bring up J.J. Wilkes. Starting first baseman for the Tornadoes. First pitch, a ball to Wilkes. Wilkes out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Philip O. Berry Academy. And the 2-1. Off the plate, ball 3. And ball 4, so Wilkes will take first base. That'll bring up Burchett. So Wilkes, the base runner in first after the walk, and that'll bring up Brett Burchett. Always interesting when there's 2 outs and the catcher is in the on-deck circle. He usually has about half of his catcher's gear on. And then Burchett very quickly shedded that
catcher's gear and is now in the batter's box. But he'll have to get all suited up again after the end of this half inning. Pickoff throw to first. Wilkes able to get back. Whenever Wilkes has been at first base, he's drawn a lot of attention. Several pickoff throws. Trying to keep Wilkes in check on the base paths. And the 0-1. 0-2 now the count. Kieschnick versus Burchett. 1-2 now the count. Wilkes, the base runner at first. Tornadoes trail by 4, 7-3. With 2 outs, here's the 1-2. And that'll be a passed ball, so Wilkes to third. Count now 2-2. So Wilkes now at second after the passed ball. Burchett's at-bat continues, but now Wilkes is in scoring position. But Kieschnick gets him with a nasty breaking ball. Strike 3, end of inning. So Nathan Sanders will go back to work for the Tornadoes on the mound in relief for Ben Melton. And Whitmer at the plate for the Lions takes strike 1. Top of the 6th inning. Piedmont 7, Brevard 3. And the 1-1. Called strike. So Sanders getting ahead of Whitmer here in the top of the 6th. base hit there for Whitmer. That'll bring up the center fielder, number 26, Carter Ballstat. With Whitmer at first. First pitch is a called strike. On deck for Piedmont is Duke Wadetsky. Pickoff throw to first to keep Whitmer in check. Another pickoff throw to first. Whitmer back safely, evading the tag of J.J. Wilkes. Called strike. Painting the outside corner there was Sanders. So the count 0-2 to Ballstat. And the pitch. It's a hit by pitch. So Ballstat will take first base. So after the hit by pitch, Wadetsky comes to the plate. Wadetsky showing bunt, fielded by Sanders. Everyone's safe all around. A bunt base hit for Wadetsky. So after the bunt base hit, just like that, the bases are loaded with no outs. And Nathan Sanders suddenly has his hands full with Lions at every station. Evan Mead, the batter for Piedmont, the designated hitter in the 9-hole. And the pitch from Sanders. Good looking pitch there. Called strike 0-2. Two singles and a hit by pitch. No one's hit the ball hard this inning, but Piedmont has managed three base runners, bases juiced. See the corner infielders in. Burchett with a beautiful job there blocking that ball in the dirt. Certainly would have been trouble if that got past him. And the runner on third. Two balls, two strikes, no outs. Piedmont 7, Brevard 3. Bases loaded. Sanders the pitcher, Mead the batter. And the pitch. Low and outside, ball 3. Series concludes tomorrow, Sunday, at 1 p.m. here at Gil Cohen Field. If you're anywhere in the vicinity, come on by and enjoy the afternoon of baseball. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, just what the doctor ordered. Strikeout for Nathan Sanders.
So big time strikeout there for Nathan Sanders with the bases loaded and absolutely no room for error. And that'll bring up Snyder. Still bases loaded, now 1 out. First pitch strike. Sanders with the fastball. Snyder unable to catch up with it. More action in the Tornadoes bullpen. Oh, 1 the count, 1 out. Sanders deals to Snyder. Strike 2. Nathan Sanders, freshman right-hander from Franklin, North Carolina, Franklin High School. That pitch outside. 1-2 the count. And the pitch. Another blocked ball in the dirt by Burchett. Burchett doing yeoman's work behind the plate. I'd venture to say he's got the dirtiest uniform between the two teams at the moment. Blocking all those balls in the dirt. And the pitch. Sharply grounded. And that'll score 2 runs.
So Zach Wolf will lead things off for the Tornadoes, trailing 10-3 to Piedmont here in Game 2 of the 3-game series. First pitch called strike. Donnie Carcillo, number 1, on deck. Wolf lifts this into center field, out number 1. So with 1 out, that brings up Donnie Carcillo, hitting in the 9 hole, the starting left fielder for the Tornadoes. Kieschnick still the pitcher for the Lions. On deck for the Tornadoes, shortstop Jason Jucker. And the 2-0. Called strike. So 2-1 now, the count to Carcillo. That's fouled back. You have to keep your head on a swivel here in this broadcast location. Always keep your eye out for these foul balls. Two the count, 1 out, bases empty. Donnie Carcillo at the plate. The pitch, outside, ball 3. Update from the Boshemer Gymnasium. Tornadoes 31, Huntington 30. Senior Damari Hopper with 9 points. Senior Gaddafi Turner, 3 steals, 2 blocked shots. Always, that'll get your attention, a point guard with 2 blocked shots. On senior day, Damari Hopper, Levi Lamb, and Gaddafi Turner being celebrated. As that's driven into center field. Nice piece of hit in there by Donnie Carcillo, base hit. So after the line drive single to center by Carcillo, that'll bring up Jason Jucker, the leadoff hitter for the Tornadoes. See if the Tornadoes can get some offense generated here. So today's men's basketball senior day. Last Saturday was women's basketball senior day, and Krista Davis and Elena Perez were honored in pregame ceremonies, and Tornadoes with a big win on that season finale. So great job by the Tornadoes women's basketball team. Always great to have them here at the baseball games at Gil Cohen Field. I would imagine about half the basketball team, women's basketball teams over at the Bosch, the other half here at Gil Cohen Field. One, two now the count, 1 out. Base runner at first is Donnie Carcillo. Jason Jucker, your batter. Kieschnick, the pitcher. He's approaching 50 pitches, by the way, in relief of the starter, Valeroy. And the pitch. Line drive to left field. Back-to-back base hits by the Tornadoes. Runners first and second. So after base base hits back-to-back at-bats for the Tornadoes. Donnie Carcillo and Zach Wolf. That'll bring up Bo Sheely with an opportunity here to drive in perhaps a run or two. And the pitch. That's a hit by pitch is the ruling. So bases will be loaded for Brandon Johnson. Or check that, Johnny Flynn, your batter. So a bases loaded situation now for Johnny Flynn after back-to-back singles by Carcillo and Jucker. And then Sheely was hit by a pitch to load the bases. We have one out here, an 0-1 count for Johnny Flynn. And the pitch. Just missed there. Nice job of plate discipline by Flynn. And the count now 1-1. On deck is Brandon Johnson, the electric freshman for the Tornadoes. So big opportunity here for the Tornadoes to cut into this deficit, as that's low and inside, ball two. That's driven into the gap left center field. That'll score 2 runs, 2 RBI single by Johnny Flynn. 10-5 now your score. Now batting for your Tornadoes, number 18, the third baseman, Brandon Johnson. So pitching change for the Lions. The new pitcher is Ryan Cox. And the first tornado he'll have to deal with is Brandon Johnson. Cox, junior out of Cumming, Georgia, Central Forsyth High School. And the 1-0 to Johnson. Runners first and third for the Tornadoes. Bo Sheely, the base runner at third. Johnny Flynn, after the 2 RBI single, the base runner at first. Pitch outside, ball 2. Piedmont 10 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Tornadoes 5 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. And the pitch outside, ball 3. And the 3-1 to Johnson, ball 4, so bases will be loaded for the Tornadoes. That'll bring up Daquan Davenport. Another exciting newcomer for the Tornadoes. Davenport out of Altamont Springs, Florida.
So Burkett fouls out to the first baseman Wilkes, and that brings up DeJesus. And Sanders quickly ahead 0-2 on DeJesus. Sanders has looked sharp in relief of Melton. One, two now the count. One out. Bases empty. Top of the 7th inning. Piedmont 10. Brevard 6. As that's lifted to center field for out number 2. That'll bring up James Whitmer. First pitch called strike. And here's the 0-1. Just missing there on that breaking ball. 1-1. Now 2-1 count, 2 outs. Whitmer the batter, Sanders the pitcher. Two count, 2 outs. And the pitch coming from Sanders. Inside, ball 3. Called strike there. Beautiful pitch by Nathan Sanders to end the inning. Down go the Lions. 1-2-3. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. So a defensive substitution for Piedmont. Scott Lyon now playing shortstop. Meanwhile, Cox on the mound, Burchett at the plate for the Tornadoes. 3-1 the
count to Burchett here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 10-6. Your score, Piedmont on top. Much more competitive game than what we saw yesterday in Game 1. Considerably fewer mistakes than we saw in Game 1. Just a cleaner game altogether. Strikeout there of Burchett. So after the strikeout of Burchett, that'll bring up Zach Wolf. First pitch strike. Wolf, starting second baseman out of nearby Hendersonville. That pitch well off the plate. 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Popped up, handled by the Piedmont first baseman, out number 2. That'll bring up Donnie Carcillo after the first 2 Tornadoes were retired by Cox. Now Carcillo having to deal with the reliever of Piedmont with 2 outs, nobody on. Now a 1-1 count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Carcillo smartly lays off that pitch. So now a 2-2 count. And the 2-2's fouled back. Jason Jucker on deck if this inning continues. As that's fouled back. Seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Full count now for Carcillo. And here's pitch number 8 of the at-bat. Called strike. That'll end the bottom of the 7th for the Tornadoes. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Piedmont on top, 10-6. So to the top of the 8th we go. Carter Ballstat leading things off for the Lions. First pitch swinging, and it's a base hit to left. Add a hit for the Lions. So a single by Ballstat to left. That brings up Wodetsky. He lays down a bunt. It rolls foul, strike one. Ten runs, 8 hits for Piedmont. 6 runs, 8 hits for Brevard. 2 Brevard errors. Sanders continues to work hard on the mound for the Tornadoes. That pitch gets away from Burchett. So runner now on second. So runner now at second. Outmade at first, runner at third now. One down. So after the sacrifice bunt by Wodetsky, Ballstat's now standing at third base. Evan Mead is now your hitter. Sanders goes to work against him. High, ball 2. 1 out, runner at third. A 10-6 lead for Piedmont here in the top of the 8th. And the pitch. That's sliced to right field. Plays made in right field for the out, but a run will score as well, a sacrifice fly. So 2 outs and the 11th run of the game for Piedmont. So sacrifice fly there as Wes Snyder now the batter. 2 outs, 1-1 count. Sanders versus Snyder. Now an 11-6 lead for Piedmont. That's lifted to left field. It's going to be out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Piedmont 11, Brevard 6. So bottom of the 8th, 11-6 Piedmont on top. Jason Jucker, your batter. Cox continuing in relief for Piedmont. That pitch down the middle for a strike. 1-1 the count to Jason Jucker. On deck, Bo Sheely as Jucker fouls that off. We'll see if we can get you an update from the Boschmer Gymnasium in the men's basketball contest. So base hit there by Jason Jucker, and that brings up Sheely. Sheely lifts this to center field. That's going to be out number 1. So that'll bring up Johnny Flynn, right fielder for the Tornadoes. With 1 out, Jason Jucker, the base runner at first. And the pitch from Cox, high, ball 1. Huntington 61, Brevard 49, under 8 minutes to play at the Boschmer Gymnasium. And the 1-1. Outside ball 2. On deck for the Tornadoes, Brandon Johnson. Davenport in the hole. Flynn, the 3-hole hitter, at the plate. Jason Jucker, the leadoff hitter, at first base after a single to open this inning. Called strike there. Johnny Flynn thought he had ball 4, was already on his way to first base, but umpire had different ideas, calling that a strike and calling Johnny back to the plate as his at-bat will continue. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So that'll bring up Brandon Johnson. Now a 2-out situation with Jucker at first base. First pitch called strike. Tornado bullpen quiet at the moment. And the pitch off the plate, ball 1. Tornadoes will be back in action tomorrow for the conclusion of this 3-game series, the Gil Cohen Memorial Series. Called strike there, 1-2. Now the count to Johnson with 2 outs. Jason Jucker, your base runner at first. If the inning continues, Daquan Davenport is on deck. That pitch right down the middle, called strike 3, end of inning. Will head to the top of the 9th. Piedmont 11, Brevard 6. So Scott Lyon will head to the plate for his first at-bat. Inserted into the game as a defensive substitution at shortstop. And Nathan Sanders will go back to work. He's already thrown 53 pitches in relief this afternoon. Top of the 9th, so see if Sanders can complete his appearance here in the 9th. 1-1 now the count. On deck is Tyler Sheely, number 4 for Piedmont, 3-hole hitter. That's fouled off down the third base line. Two balls, 2 strikes to Lyon. Here's the 2-2. Low and outside, ball 3. So full count here. Here's the pitch from Sanders. Fouled back. The at-bat will continue. Painting the inside corner there was Sanders. Got him looking. Out number 1. That'll bring up the left fielder, Tyler Sheely. Beautiful piece of pitching there by Sanders to strike out the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 9th for the Lions. First pitch outside, ball 1. All right, so now runners first and second for DeJesus. Bit of a seeing eye single by Sheely, then a hit by pitch for Burkhead. And with one out now, runners first and second for the Lions. DeJesus at the plate versus Sanders. Now some movement in the Tornado bullpen. Runners going. And it'll be a double steal. Two the count. So now runners second and third. So 2 runs have crossed the plate for Piedmont here in this top of the ninth. 13-6, Lions now on top. First pitch swinging there with 2 outs is ball stat. That'll be out number 3 here in the top of the ninth. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth. Your score, Piedmont 13, Brevard 6.
So a defensive substitution for Piedmont. Connor Jelly now playing third base. And Daquan Davenport will go to work versus Cox here in the bottom of the ninth. One now the count to Davenport. J.J. Wilkes awaits on deck. Play there by the Piedmont shortstop for out number one. So Davenport grounds out to short. That brings up J.J. Wilkes. Holden Lanier on deck for the Tornadoes, so a pinch hitting situation. And the 2-2 to Wilkes. Just off the plate. Piedmont's dugout wanted that as strike three. And the 3-2. Popped up in foul territory, caught by the Piedmont pitcher for out number two. That'll bring up Holden Lanier. So after Wilkes pops out in foul territory, a pinch hitter for the Tornadoes, Holden Lanier. So Tornadoes down to their last out. If we get there, Christian Ezel is in the on-deck circle. Do want to thank our crack staff up here in the press box today. Bree, Krista, Shakira, and Avery just doing great work up here this afternoon. Couldn't have done it without them. Tornadoes down to their last out, trailing 13-6, game two. Much more to be encouraged about today rather than yesterday. An improved performance, but certainly still not what the Tornadoes are looking for. But want to remind you, this is a very good Piedmont club, the defending regular season champions in the USA South Conference. As that's fouled back. Hope you can join us for game three of the series tomorrow, 1 p.m. If you're here in the Western North Carolina mountains, just come on over to Brevard College. You can't miss us if you go down to Brevard, as that's lifted to center, and that'll be out number three. So your final score, 13-6, Piedmont with the win. Okay, so your final score, Piedmont 13, Brevard 6. Piedmont 13 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Brevard 6 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. The series will conclude tomorrow right here at Gilcone Field, the Gilcone Memorial Series. Glad you're able to join us for this edition of Brevard College Baseball. Hope to see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, Sunday, as Brevard College Baseball marches on. Game 3 of the series versus Piedmont, or if you're in the area, come on out here to Gilcone Field. 1 p.m. first pitch on Sunday. Your final score for the final time, Piedmont 13, Brevard 6. Have a very pleasant rest of your Saturday.